And we're live. It is 8:56, and we're just waiting for some people to sign in if people want to. I know it's kind of late, and this is kind of last minute, and I'm not even sure if there's a football game going on, but if there is, I'm sure people are watching that. And I'm not trying to wake my daughter because she is sick, and I don't want to wake her up. So I'm going to try and talk somewhat quiet, but if you guys can't hear me, please let me know. So hopefully we get some people to jump in here. I see it looks like 4 are watching. We got a like, so that means there are a few people here. Evan's here. Hyatt's here. What's going on, everybody? Hans is in the house. Hans is giving me crap because I started 5 minutes early. Well, I just got my daughter to lay down and go to bed, so hopefully she stays asleep. She's running a little bit of a fever right now, so hopefully I don't wake her. But I'm working out or hanging out in the basement where I usually do my live streams. So Alan's in the house, Tom A's in the house, Lee is in the house. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's okay. It hasn't been too cold here lately. We've been kind of hovering between the teens and the mid 30s around here. So Dave's in the house. Steve is in the house. So how's everybody doing? Anybody got any winter projects they're working on since the last live stream we've done? I gotta untangle my stuff here. I got my external hard drive plugged in, but Alan says there's some weather in eastern Washington. Hyatt says he's been a little under the weather. Yeah, it seems to be going around right now. There's a lot of people at work that are sick, and hopefully I don't catch whatever my daughter's got or what anybody else at work has got, because I kind of need to get some overtime. So Dave says he's slowly working on the case D. Yeah, I've been kind of trying to follow that as much as I can. I haven't been commenting on a whole lot of people's videos that I watch, between Dave and Squatch, and I try to stay up to speed with Pete's restorations over on Just a Few Acres Farms, but it's been tough. Like I said if you guys saw my community post, I think I've got 94 hours in this week, so I'm beat. Let's see here. Lee says he had to pull some snow off the roof last week. I should be doing that, but I'm pretty sure mine's frozen solid now. So let's see here. Evan says working on the F-350 in the gray sky garage. Must be a diesel. Might be getting some snow here in eastern New Mexico tomorrow. Well, you're probably at a much higher altitude than I am. 90 hours. I wish I wish it was all overtime, but most of it is working for Rudy actually, and I'm on a 7-day work week this week, so I've only gotten one overtime shift at the prison in the last 3 weeks, so not good, but it'll come around. So let's see. Still dealing with moving issues, but feels good to be home. That's good, Tom. Finally getting settled in, I suppose. Hans says he's still getting snow every few days, but lately it's been smaller amounts. Yeah, we haven't had a significant snowfall in about a week or so, which is nice to have a break because we seem to keep getting 4 to 8 to 12 every time there's a storm that rolls through. So Got a dusting of snow a couple days ago here in southern Cochise County, Arizona. Even Arizona's getting snow. Evan got 3 inches last night, and he's working on a 7.3. They're probably some of the better engines, I think. When they came out with the 6 liter, that was not a very good engine. And 6.4 has had a bunch of problems, from my understanding. I have a friend that had a 6.4 that he had that thing in the shop more than he was driving it. So, but I haven't been. I've been getting a lot of stuff done at Rudy's. There's one really good customer of his that I think we've done 6 or 7 carburetors for him now. We just had a milk crate full and he wanted them all done. So, been doing that and magnetos and trying to fabricate a little piece for Hyatt's Case RC, which I think we got pretty much dialed in now as far as the small piece we had to fabricate. Um, what else have I been doing? Not much with tractors, that's for sure. Um, it's been mostly work on my end. So there's a there's a gentleman just down the road from me. He's a friend of mine that he has a very large collection, mostly prairie tractors, old prairie tractors, and he's got a few steam engines. But he's working on a 4080 Minneapolis right now, and I really, really wish I could have been a fly on the wall for this project because it would be the only one on YouTube. It's that's a very large prairie tractor. It was the biggest prairie tractor that Minneapolis threshing machine company built, and I really wish I could have been over there filming some of that because he told me I was more than welcome to, but I just with work and everything, I just can't. I don't have the time right now to do it. So let's see, where am I at? Ryan's in the house. How we doing, Ryan? Good to see you. Brent's in the house. Yeah, I guess I am a workaholic for now, anyway. I got to do what I got to do. There's a couple people that know the situation, and I'm going to keep it private until the time is right. But yeah, it's basically for the next year. I'm going to be working a lot, as if I as if I haven't been already. But I'm going to be working my tail off until December. So Hyatt wants to know if I keep up with Barrett that restored my John Deere D. I do once in a while. We talk. Um, he actually, that reminds me, I was supposed to call him and I totally forgot. But um, I'm gonna have to give him a call here the next couple days and see what he wanted. But I think it's kind of a downtime for him too, as far as wrenching goes. I'm not sure. I haven't seen much on Facebook from him, but um, yeah, it's he actually, they built a, I want to say it's a printing shop maybe at the local showgrounds that he's a part of the club in. So he's been busy getting that finished, and then I'm sure with work. So I haven't talked to him that much recently, but I do have to call him. That reminds me. So thanks for that. Thanks for that question. Let's see. My brother used to run one of the snowplows on Snoqualmie Pass. Got to see my Super C for the first time when pulled in at 2 a.m. after purchasing in August 2021 while in Washington. That's awesome. Steve Frondorfer. I hope I'm saying that right. Frondorfer from Central Minnesota. Welcome, Steve. I'm glad you can make it. I don't know if I ever showed anybody the 1950 Farmall C that I used to have. I don't, maybe I did, but we got that when I was a teenager. My parents got it, and then it ended up at my grandparents' lake place, and it was just something that we used in replacement of my grandpa's Farmall M, since that was out of commission. And then my uncle took it, and from there it's gone to his friend. So some of you know the story on my grandpa's Farmall M. So let's see here. Am I still planning on going to STEAM school this spring? Yes, I am, and the cameras will be coming with me. So, will I be at Western Minnesota Steam Threshers this year? I'm hoping to. It's I'm hoping to. I'll leave it at that. So, but I know for sure I'll be at Now Then. I'll probably stop at Almalund. I don't think I'll have any tractors at Almalund, unfortunately, again this year. But definitely we'll have the H and maybe the Case SC at Now Then. I'd like to get the H to another show this year, but it's 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 going to be a tough year for me. So um, just got to play it by ear. Next year should be much easier. Um, I just got to get over this hump. So, but I do plan on being at Western Minnesota Steam Threshers. It's just it's 9 months away. I'm not sure what work is going to look like for that. So I am putting in for vacation that weekend, but a lot of seniority is involved in the in the vacation bidding, and I am probably in the bottom 30% of my shift. So Labor Day weekend is tough to get. So you never know, though. I might be able to work it out. Logan is in the house. Yeah, Matt, don't worry about me. I'll be all right. Just gotta keep chugging along. It was great to finally touch it, Tom says. Must be talking about the Super C. Needs a battery from sitting a year and a half. Pulled the front wheels to put new tires and tubes on this week, but looking for new to me rims with offset mounting lugs. Have you checked with Beaver's Tractor Salvage in Barnesville, Minnesota? Their website is salvagetractors.com, and you can get a hold of them, and I almost guarantee they'll have what you need. If they don't have it, they'll find it. So Gary and Don are very good people up there. So Steve says he'll have his 49 John Deere B at Rolog this year and hopefully some other shows. Sweet. I don't know where you're located in Minnesota, but if you've ever been to Now Then, it's a great show. Matt says, I remember the days when I was your age. 12-hour shifts, 7 days a week with every other Sunday off. That would go on for months at a time. Well, 12s would be good. When I work overtime, it's 6:30 in the morning till 11 o'clock at night. So it's It's a long day, but um, I'd much rather work day shift in the evening shift than I would overnights into day shift. That's a very tough thing to do. Is work 10 o'clock at night till 3 p.m. the next day. That's very very tough. And I worked overnights for almost 10 years. So yeah, I'm very glad that I am mostly working day shift and the evening shift. But Jeff Weinstock's in the house. How we doing, Jeff? Long time no see, bud. Logan says we finally traded our 1066 gear drive for a 1566. Got to get used to having a 3 speed instead of a 4. Steve says they live by Wadena and have a cabin at Detroit Lakes. All right. Well, my grandpa's place was um, in Ashby, so not too far from you guys. But if you know where Ashby is, that's where my Case SC came from. So I can't remember who asked it, but somebody had asked if I sold my Farm All M, and no, I haven't sold it. It's still here. So Hyatt wants to know if beavers would allow them to walk around or drive around their salvage yard. Oh yeah, I'm sure. I don't think you could drive around it. It's pretty flat and wet. So, the slightest rain there can turn it into a muck fest, but I don't think they'd mind if you walked around and checked it out. I don't really. It's a very, very big place, so there's a lot to see there for sure. But it's it's also very heartbreaking to see all of those relics just sinking into the mud. But without parts tractors, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing. So there's that too. I'm just trying to catch up here. Brent says we'll talk about the M. Well, I'm not sure if you're alluding to the fact that you may want to buy it, but I'm trying to keep it. So I've got some things in store for that I maybe be somewhat of a special deal. We'll see what happens. Pete 359 is in the house. Shopcat Industries is in the house. Now then, let's see. I'm not sure what it's going to be this year. It is International Harvester this year, so I better have the H there. It better be there. There's always now then's always kind of a heavy red, heavy green, and heavy Alice show. But those are kind of the big three in the area here. Depending on where you go, Rolog, there's a lot of case stuff there, which is really cool. But um, let's see, there was quite a bit of Ford stuff at Almalund, and then was it Albany this year that was Ford maybe, or last year? There was quite a bit. So oh, I see what you're getting at, Brent. Well, we'll talk, and I'm not sure. We'll see. I'm like I said, I kind of have a plan right now for that thing. So We'll see. Matt the Scrat Whisperer. Matt the Scrat Whisperer. See the shout outs. I love it. Matt wants to know if there's any upcoming plans for the LPs in my shed. Yes, eventually. Um, I want to get this John Deere E engine done first before I get into those engines. And I think before I even get into those engines, I really want to start tearing into the Case SC so I can get that done, because I really want to do an entire video series on that, because there are 0 Case SC restoration videos out there, or just teardown videos out there. So I really want to take that and do that. Plus, the transmission needs some significant bearing work. So, and resealing and a couple other things. The restoration on that is already, and I didn't do a full restoration on that SC. I did some engine work and then Domino painted it, and that's where we're at. So there's a lot of stuff, like, it was nowhere near the restoration that we did on the H. That was a complete, 99.9% of the bolts came out of that H. The only thing I didn't take apart on that H was I didn't take the ring gear off the, I guess it'd be called the planetary assembly, or the differential. That's the only thing I didn't take apart. So yeah, there's a lot of John Deere at Almaland, that's for sure. Brian H is in the house. How we doing, Brian? Good to see you. I need it like I need a hole in the head. Yeah, I mean, I don't need any tractors here, but I also didn't need any tractors in a townhouse, but that's what I love. So that's my guilty pleasure. Hyatt says he enjoyed Now Then, but wants to go to Rolog. Hyatt, I'm telling you, if you thought Now Then was good, you will crap your pants if you go to Rolog, because Now Then is a small, small corner of what Rolog is. Yeah, Dave's doing a D case. Yep. You got it right, Pete. Yep. That's one of the necessary evils, you guys. There's got to be parts tractors for the good ones to live on. So, Steve says, pretty sure we've seen you at Rolog this year. Haven't missed a year in 28 years. I think this was my 4th Rolog, 3rd in a row, but I think it's my 4th overall. My first one was, I want to say 98 or 2000, something like that. Hans, yeah, I know. I got the flywheels and everything blasted for this Model E engine, but Domino and I are still working on getting there's a crack in the bottom of the water jacket where the drain plug goes in, and we're working on getting that welded up. So let's see. Brent says he trusts my rebuilds. Well, they're all still running. Every tractor I've been into, they're all still running, and I've never gotten a message from somebody that bought any of the tractors I've sold that said, "Hey, what the heck?" So, but man, I'll tell you guys, I've been watching prices on some tractors at auctions lately, and some of the Rumleys and the Spoker D's, and Man, I wish I was in the market for a tractor because there's some really good deals out there. Yeah, Hyatt, you might want to pack some extra drawers. That's all I'm saying. This is still America. Need is not a requirement. We are free to pursue happiness. Darn right. Brian says he hopes to see some of us this fall, starting with the Orange Spectacular. Well, I don't think I'll be at the Orange Spectacular. I've been to it. It's a really great show. There's a lot of cool equipment there, but I'm not, I don't have any Alice equipment. I never have had any Alice equipment. So I just, I like to go places where I can see a lot of different things. Not that I wouldn't go to the Orange Spectacular again. I just, you know, it's not on my radar for this year. Steve wants to know if I've ever played around with hit and miss engines. No. This Model E that I'm working on that we're doing with Rudy, that's the first time I've ever touched a hit and miss engine. So it's going to be all brand new for me. I've rebuilt igniters, working for Rudy. I rebuilt, I just did two igniters for Model E's, but yeah, I've never messed with the engines. And this one that we're building, it just came out of boxes and milk crates. I mean, it's just a conglomeration of parts that Rudy had laying around. So we're just gonna build an engine out of a box, basically. Yeah, the guys that part out fixable tractors, that's kind of a kick in the shorts, but at the same time, there's a lot of really good parts that can help, a lot of people that are restoring tractors. So McLean Farms, Ryan, how you doing, bud? The big internationals and the big John Deeres are going high. Yeah, they are. Rodney's in the house. Plus the younger, quote unquote, the younger crowd of collectors, they're really seeking those out because they want to, run up the injection pumps and just dump fuel into them so they can roll coal and hook up to a sled and drag it down the track. And I get it, it's fun, but it's just not what I'm into. I like the old stuff. I want I'm leaning a lot into the original stuff. Like if I can get a Spoker D that's all original, that's the way it's going to stay because it's only original once. And if you can still read the original silk screen on the hood, you got to preserve that. That's amazing to me. For a tractor to live 100 years and then still have legible decals after everything that tractor's been through. I just find that amazing. Steve says he's got a Fairbanks he's bringing to roll log too. Okay. Well, hopefully we can get this Model E done without much effort, and then that should be able to, you know, that's going to be painted and everything. But Corsair Smitty is in the house. How we doing, bud? Oh, hold on. Dog wants to go outside, so better let the dog out. Yeah, I'm wearing my pajamas too, so let's see here. Ryan says, I like tractors that make smoke and noise, but rather working in the field than going down the track. Yeah, I can understand that. Keep them original, he says. Like my TA diesel that Connor runs at Toby's Plow Day. Yeah, that's a nice tractor, man. I'd like to get the H up there to play with you guys. You know, work has gotten in the way for every event. But yeah, I'd really like to get my hands on a Spoker D. Even some of the Rumleys, the smaller Rumleys, I think would be fun. Um, there's so many tractors I've seen come up because there's a lot of large collectors that are getting to be that age where they're selling out, and I don't know where they're all going. I hope they're staying in the country so people like me may someday have a chance to buy them, but who knows? So 89 40 55 John Deere with 8,800 hours. The guy wanted $61,000 for it, and it was like, what were you smoking when you chose that price? Well, you can always start high, but you can't start low and then raise the price when somebody wants to buy it. Oh yeah, Ryan, we got shows all over in Minnesota. This is the most in 2022. That was the most shows I've ever been to in a year, and I went to 8. And I'll tell you, I love shows, but after 8 of them, I was I was done. I needed a break. Yeah, Rolog is definitely something that anybody who's into old equipment should attend. Whether it's trains, engines, tractors, cars. I mean, there's all kinds of weird and odd and unique and rare at Rolog. And I don't know anywhere else in the world you can go and see 510 horse cases. Just saying. Ryan says he'd like to find something from the 30s, but that's about as old as he likes when it comes to tractors. I want something pre 1930. That's why I want to look at Spoker D's, but plus I've always loved the unstyled D. Do I think there's a hidden Spoker D at Beavers? Beavers has a ton of rare tractors. Gary and Don have a very, very extensive collection of rare tractors. Um, so in the yard, I don't know if they'd have a Spoker D, but I'm sure they do in their collection probably. Bibster says the local antique engine and repair or tractor club is featuring Farmall this year. Awesome. Yeah, Brent, I hear you. Life gets in the way. Hunting and stuff is in the house. Swap meets are good. Swap meets are good. I'm just trying to catch up on some of the comments here. Ryan says he'd like to start his own show that is more than just antique tractor pulls and lines of restored tractors. Yeah, that's one thing I wish they had it now. Then was more space so they could have a plowing area and some more field work demonstrations. They got rock crushing and a sawmill, and they usually do a little bit of threshing and then harvesting corn. But other than that, there's not much for field work demonstrations. Logan says, pretty sure Rolog's one of the biggest threshing shows in the world. And the Orange Spectacular is the largest single brand in the U.S. and the largest AC show in the world. Yeah, I think Rolog is in the top 3 in the world. Steve knows where a 26 McCormick Deering is at. I don't mind the McCormicks. I think they're really cool tractors. Um, wouldn't mind having a 2236. Brian says he got 4 shows this year and thought he was doing good, but 8 is a lot. 8, yeah, I was, especially because my daughter came with me. Now she's 3. She came with me to 7 of the 8 shows. No, 6 of the 8 shows I went to. So, yeah, I was tired. I did a lot of chasing and trying to juggle filming, and obviously she's my priority, especially safety, because all it takes is 1 second and your kid is running around a piece of equipment that's operating, and that's such a dangerous situation. So that's always my priority, and I tried to get as much footage as I could this year for you guys. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. So, but I try to get different stuff too. Like, I'm not just gonna walk up and down every row of tractors at every show, because a farm all H is a farm all H, no matter what show you're at. So, unless of course it's the suicide H. Yeah, an original GP would be cool, Ryan. Well, you could probably classify LeSueur Swap Meet as a show, but they also have their show that's in the fall, which this time at LeSueur this last fall, that's the first time I've been to the actual show, and it was really really cool. They have a lot of cool stuff at LeSueur, so I highly recommend it. Matt says he's got a friend who has a 2236 tucked away in his barn. Picked it up in Montana, got it to the point of almost running, but age caught up with him. Yeah, I think that's the story with a lot of these old things. That's why everybody hears that phrase, "It's not for sale, I'm going to restore it," when they inquire about buying a tractor or a car. So, Rolog could be the biggest. I know it's definitely in the top 3. I'm not sure, but it is big. Yeah, LeSueur can be really, really messy. So I know exactly what you mean, Brian. Rodney, the Suicide H is the Farm All H that I restored over the last 2.5 years, that we did to help raise awareness for suicide and mental health. And then it kind of travels show to show when I can get it there. It's The last couple of years has been interesting because of situation that I'm in, and then I don't have a truck or a trailer, so I borrow a friend of mine's truck and trailer, and I'm very blessed with a good group of friends that help me out with that. So that tractor was basically chronicled on this channel, and from start to finish, kind of the way Squatch does his videos, but there's a lot of special touches on that tractor. We had a lot of stuff chrome plated. There was some powder coating. Um, what else did we? The manifold was ceramic coated. Just there's a lot of things that went into that, and so many people donated to that project and believed in it, and I'm very grateful for that, because they didn't just help spread the awareness for the cause. of mental health and suicide, but they helped me heal, and I really owe you guys a lot for that because I lost my mother to suicide, and um, I've lost a couple friends, I've lost coworkers, and I don't know anybody that hasn't been touched by that. So it's really, really cool to see when people come to shows and see the H and they tell me a story of how they had an H, or their son or their daughter or their best friend or somebody they lost, and they really appreciate the quality of the restoration that we did on it. So that's what it's all about. And you know i've I've gotten some flack from very limited amount of people. There's for every 100 great comments, there's always a negative. So it is what it is, but you can't ever try to do something good without somebody trying to rain on it. But that's really it was a great project, and I enjoy bringing it to shows and letting people drive it, and teaching them how they operate, and it's just a lot of fun. So that's what it was about. Justin Anderson's in the house. 218. You must be in the 218 area code, I'm guessing. Pete says he's got a Massey Harris GP been wanting to get going. Isn't that the four-wheel drive one? Just trying to catch up here. James Valley Show has the world's largest plowing demonstration. You're darn right it does, and I got to be a part of it, and I was honored. I was very honored to be able to operate a couple plowshares while the mighty 150 broke the world record. Speaking of which, for the newer people that are in the chat or in the room here, I guess we'll call it. If you haven't been to Andover, South Dakota to see the 150, I highly, highly, highly recommend you guys do it because it is totally worth it. Hyatt says, definitely enjoyed the video series of the H. Recommend anyone who has not watched to do so. Well, Hyatt, I appreciate that. And you were very instrumental in helping with that project. So thank you very much. And Monica as well. Thank you very much. But the list is, I mean, there's dozens and dozens and dozens of people that have helped with that project, and small businesses, large corporations. Goodyear donated the tires for it, and all the chrome work was donated. The powder coating, the ceramic coating, that was all donated. When we were getting close to the wire and not having it done for the show, I know a friend that has a body shop that I've known for years that did all the tin work for free, painted it, did all the body work on it. I mean, there's so many people that put significant work into this tractor other than me, and I'm just very grateful for it. So let's see. Yeah, I know the GP was John Deere's first row crop tractor, but yeah, Massey Harris. Somebody had mentioned they had I think it was Pete. Yeah, they had a Massey Harris GP, and that was the four-wheel drive one. So Brian says, I heard you mention McCormick's. He's got a perfectly restored 23 McCormick Deering 1020 brass carb. 100 years old this year, have it sitting in his carburetor pile and can't sell it. Right? Are you can't sell it because you're attached to it, or you can't sell it because you can't find a buyer? Yes, the 150 is really, I mean, it's a legendary tractor. If if you can spare the time, I highly recommend you go. Um, Corey does not bring the 150 to Roll Log every year. He brought it in 2019 because the feature was case. This year, I think the year before, it went to Bird City, Kansas, and then this year it's going to a show in Wisconsin. That's in, I want to say it's in the beginning of August, like the 4th through the 6th or something. So, Shopcat says there's a tractor museum in a little town about an hour from my home. I really have to go check it out ASAP. I think I passed two of them when I went to South Dakota last year on vacation. I think I passed two different tractor museums. Brian says, I'm attached to it. Well, I think you and I have talked about that. They're the old snail shell style carburetors. Rudy's got probably half a dozen of those things sitting around. We were going to restore one, but we got busy with projects that pay. So Tom says he missed Farmall Land, was going to stop on return to Washington, but pressed for time, and then it closed 2 weeks later. Yeah, it sucks. It is what it is. A lot of these museums, Farmall Land, and then Paquette's. It's when the old timers go, that's it. You know, unless the family wants to keep it running, it's going to close up. Brian says, how would I find a buyer for something like this? Oh, eBay. Or you could list it on a lot of the Facebook groups, the McCormick Deering or McCormick or Gray Era tractors, because they were known as the Gray Era. There's a lot of Facebook groups out there that you could list it on for sale and probably get a decent amount for it. I don't know what they're worth, but there's a co-op museum in Wilmer. Did not know that. There's also the small, very small museum in the apartment complex in Hopkins called the Moline, which is actually right near where the original Moline factory was. They've got a few very rare Molines in the lobby. One of them's a UDLX, and I think there's a UTOX, which is an open station UDLX, so no cab, but still has all the sheet metal. Very cool tractor, so very rare, valuable. Logan says he wants to go back to the day where you could buy a D John Deere or an F20 for like $50 because they had no value. Yeah, wouldn't that be something? Can't get to my Ferguson TO20 because of too many paying jobs myself. Yeah, that's why I can't get any of my stuff done because I don't, I have to focus on work right now. I can't. And I apologize for not being able to get videos out to you guys. It's just, when I'm working 16 to 17 hours a day and then sleeping 5 hours, I just don't have any energy to get out in the garage, especially when it's 10 degrees out there, and get work done and film and edit and all this other stuff. I have to focus my energy on work and my kid right now, and tractor talks. Also have the Reynolds, Alberta Museum we visited last summer and have a vid on my channel. I think I did see your vid actually. Huge parking garage museum in Boise, Idaho. The old boy that developed it bought most of the tractors at the big Oscar Cook auction years back. Oh, that's cool. Days Gone By Museum in Portland, Tennessee closed last year. Fortunately, I was able to visit in 2020 and it was amazing. Huh. There's a tractor museum in Wilmer, Minnesota. Didn't know that. It's actually a parts dealer that had a museum. There's probably 140 cars, trucks, and tractors. Wow. Bride gave me the okay to bid on my dream tractor when they shut down. Didn't have a use for a 150 horse tractor. What do you do? Just south of Edmonton is the Leduc West Antique Society. They have a small Ford museum that has a half dozen Ford tractors and a few Model A's. Oh, okay. At Almelin last fall, we saw that Farmall F40. You must mean the W40 or WK40. Want to see that again. I want to give that strange Zenith K5 carb a long look. Never seen that one before. You know, the K5s were used on a few different brands of tractors. I think Alice used them on one of their tractors. I want to say it was like the UC. Maybe they used the K5 on. I could. I'm probably wrong, but I know that Alice used the K5, um, and Case used the K5 as well. I'll take the tractor talks when you get time. I do shorts every time I get a chance just to get something out there. Yeah, I've done a few of those too. When I just on a whim, I'll fire up the track one of the tractors and do a quick short just so you guys can see I am still alive. But yeah, those W40s are a pretty cool tractor. Inline six, and you really want to see a neat and unique tractor. Check out the WD40. Is the Boise Museum, is that the same one that Kerosene Annie came from? The Jump Museum? Got to do what you got to do. I hear you, man. I'm doing what I can. There was a pretty cool tractor at the place in Wilmer. It's a Chinese copy of a Ford 8N made in the late 90s with a two-cylinder diesel called a Rhino 3320. What? I wonder why they would use a two-cylinder diesel. Yeah, the WD-40s are pretty cool tractors. Shopcat says, anyone watch Cold War Motors? He's a car guy, and my neighbor just got a really sweet W6 Super. Nope, never seen his channel. But maybe now we have a reason to. Matt the Scrat Whisperer says the Jump Museum. Yes. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, like I said, man, when and if and when I have time I can dedicate to being out in the garage, I'll definitely have the cameras on, but I haven't I haven't been out there. And you can only film so many DLTX carburetors before it's like, okay, we get the point. But when I do something else, maybe I should have done a video of the igniters that I restored. And I just did a Farmall distributor too. I should have done a video on that, but I got to do another one here. So maybe we'll do a video of putting that back together because it's already tore apart and sandblasted. I just got to paint it, and we're waiting on a couple of parts for it. But nope, dog wants to come back in. All right, I got to get more comfortable here. There we go. Yeah, busy, busy, busy. Always busy. How long have I been helping Rudy? Oh, geez. I don't know. Probably 4 or 5 years now. Maybe not that long. No, yeah, because I've been helping him since before we moved into this house, so it had to have been at least 4 years. I'm trying to. Guy is a restoration wizard, just bashes out panels on an old log with a ball peen. Plus, he's colorblind. Oh, okay. Daily drives a 49 Frazier, a 26 T, and a 59 Fury. Sounds like my kind of guy. Brian's taking off for the night. Thanks for stopping by, Brian. Yeah, Matt, send that oscillator in. I know, just so everybody knows, Rudy, he's a couple months behind in his restorations, and depending on what people are looking for, if you're just looking for something to be fixed and working good, he can probably squeeze it in. But if you want something fully restored, it goes in line with the rest of them, unless you want to pay a rush fee. So, just so everybody's aware, he's got plenty of work lined up. So be patient, but he will get it done. I got a Magneto from him in 2018. Makes me wonder who built it. What was the Magneto? Hey Bob, how you doing, bud? Yeah, I got your email on the Super A, and I'm glad to see you're finally buttoning it up. It's amazing how long these restorations can take, but doing them right, it takes a while, you know. Take care, Brian, and congratulations on the up and coming retirement. Brent, take care, man. We'll talk soon. Steve says he's thought about uploading a video of his 49, but still not sure how to do this YouTube stuff. It's really simple. It's super simple. It can get complicating if you want to do all kinds of editing effects and everything else, but for the most part, it's really simple. Matt says, no rush on mine. The Hercules has been sitting on the bench for 2 years. I understand that. Wyco C or X? Whichever one has the exposed coil. Well, neither one has an exposed coil. They're both underneath a cap. But an X has just one cap on the rear. A C has the coil cover and then the distributor cap that goes over the rotor. So it's like a two-part cap. But very good possibility I could have done it because I do a lot of Wycos for them. I do a lot of Farmall mags. I do a lot of Alice and welder mags, which run stationary power units that generate power for field welders. Corsair Smitty, thanks for stopping by, man. Something I'd love to own is a International 825 Wheatland with a gas engine. But they made like four of them, and I don't think any of them still exist. Can always build one. I don't know what they had for an engine in them, but okay, yeah. I'm just trying to read through hunting and stuff. It must have been a Wyco C, yeah. If it's got an exposed coil wire, then yeah, it's the C. Yeah, I know what you mean, Shopcat. There's so many good channels out there now. That's the best part about YouTube is anybody can get out here and put their projects out, and there's so much good stuff to watch. You can learn about literally anything on this website, and Pete and Squatch, probably a couple of the best in my opinion. They're very methodical in the way they explain things. I kind of fly by the seat of my pants, and I show you the raw footage because if I break something, it's usually on camera, and I leave it in. I like to show my mistakes and learn from them. Unfortunately, it doesn't always work out where it doesn't cost me money when I make a mistake, but most of the time I get by. So, oh, excuse me.
The other day, I pulled the coil wire to kill the tractor instead of running it out of gas. Shocked the crap out of me. Be careful doing that. Um, not because you get shocked, but when you remove the contact, I'll say, from the coil, it can actually shorten the life of your coil and cause it to burn up because that electricity needs somewhere to go. And without having, like, if you were to pull that out and ground it, then it would be different than just pulling it out because that energy has to go somewhere. And if you're just pulling it out and letting it hang, then that energy is trying to escape through the coil. So be careful doing that. I highly recommend everybody just, run their tractor out of gas. But and I'm not knocking you. I'm just trying to inform you that if you do that time and time again, it can shorten the life of the coil. So Rodney, take care. Thanks for stopping by. Sorry it was kind of late, but you just I'm trying to do do something for you guys. So Rick is a good channel. Yeah, he's definitely he doesn't hold back. That's for sure. And don't get it wrong. I swear just as much as the next guy, but I try to keep my channel clean just because I know there's a lot of kids that watch it. And um, I've had parents come up to me at shows saying, "Hey, thanks for keeping your channel where I can let my kid watch it because he loves watching your videos." And there was one parent that came up and said that my videos put his kid to sleep every night, which I hope I'm a little bit more interesting than that. But I understand his kid loves watching my videos, and that's like his nighttime ritual. So that's super cool to have been told that. And actually, I had my first famous interaction the other day. I was at O'Reilly Auto Parts, and the cashier kept staring at me, and finally was like, "How you doing?" And because I'm not afraid to, reach out and say hi. And he just kind of looked at me and he says, "Do you have a YouTube channel?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "You're the guy that does all the threshing show videos." And I'm like, "Yeah, I do some." But we talked for a couple minutes, and then on the way out the door, I said, "Don't forget to subscribe." And he kind of laughed. But Logan, take care, man. Thanks for stopping by. Rodney, take care. Bob, thanks for stopping by. Keep me updated on the Super A. How much is Ray grasping wrenching on antique tractors? Well, she definitely knows where the wrench goes, so she can put it on nuts and bolts, and she knows how to turn it a little bit. Um, on the Case SC, she knows how to operate the clutch. She knows what the throttle does. So, pretty cool for 3 years old, 3.5 years old. Broken Wrench is in the house. Good to see you. Good to see you, Broken Wrench. How you doing? My grandkids watch my channel, so I have to be careful. Yeah, I don't want someday for my daughter to look at my channel and be like, "Geez, what the heck, Dad?" But she probably will think that anyways when she's old enough to hang out with her friends, and you know, maybe not. Sparky's watching with me right now. She's 6 and loves tractors. Hi, Sparky. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate it. Hopefully the hopefully the videos get well received by all the kids, because that's the whole point, is to to put this stuff out there because kids don't want to read books. They don't want to read manuals and go sit and read online forums like I had to do when I was 12, 13, 14 years old. They don't want to do that. They want to watch a video, learn it, and do it. That's that's the greatest part about YouTube is we can put all this stuff out here. Now, granted, now most of my videos I show what not to do, but seems to work for me. So I uh, I think that's the best part about this is we're trying to get the younger people involved and um, show them you don't have to be a mechanic. You don't have to have all the expensive tools, and you can get by just trying to invent your own methods. So Minnesota Mike, welcome, 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 welcome. Thanks for the subscription, man. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy what you find on the channel too. So just trying to catch up here. Yeah, start them young and hook them for life. I'll tell you, I got a little electric tractor, I guess, and it's got a little trailer she pulls behind. She loves driving it around the yard, picking up sticks, and oh, she has a blast with that thing. So I can't wait for the day where she says, "Dad, can I take the tractor for a ride?" and just jumps on it and goes. Be one proud papa. I think Ray's already ahead of me in tractor knowledge. It's amazing how much young kids can absorb while watching you work, and she's learning from the best. Well, I don't know about that, but she's learning. Wait till Ray finds the never sees. Yeah. Oh, trust me, she's already gotten her hands into some slimy situations for sure. The one day when I'm out there with her, she'll whoop, computer's kind of tilted here. She will go through the drawers of my toolbox, and I heard some bang, bang, banging, and here I turn around and she's knocking on the fender of my vehicle with my one of my body hammers, and I'm like, oh well, can't get mad at her. She's just trying to be like dad. Can't get mad. The museum I help at is doing a school day where schools field trip out to the museum. I'm tasked with doing a tractor demonstration. Any ideas? Expecting over 100 to 200 kids to come, third through sixth graders. Oh boy. Let's see, Larry, what can we come up with? Do you have any stationary implements like a corn sheller or even like a belt driven grinding stone or something like that? Something that you could set up and demonstrate what the tractors were used for. Yeah, that's a good question, Tom. Larry, what age or size of tractor are you using? Yeah, you can't get mad at her for just wanting to be like dad. So just kind of polish it out and look away from the dents. It's part of having kids, though. Biggest thing to teach young ones is safety. Absolutely. Yep. Raylan knows, even though she's only 3, she knows that if dad's on the tractor, she has to stand far away because I don't want her getting hurt. She'll always stand by a stationary object too, which is really good, like a big tree or something like that. So last year I just started our 3570 Minneapolis 1020 Titan and Waterloo boy. Showed and talked about starting them. Then we talked about threshers and steam engines in the shed. Well, now this is just me spitballing, but have you thought about letting the kids try to start one of the tractors? Because I know at the state fair here in Minnesota, that's something that they do there is they allow the kids to attempt to start the tractors. Now I know that can be risky, when you're talking about kickback and everything else, but it's just a thought. Seem to be hit or miss with some of the kids being interested. Hard to keep them involved. Yeah, I could imagine that. Anything mechanical can and will fail, so always respect that. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, try letting them start them. If they're well tuned and they're not, there's not a risk of backfire or the crank spinning back on them. Now, a Minneapolis 3570, you're talking a big bar style crank, but I don't know what a 1020 Titan has offhand. The Waterloo boy is probably what, a 16 to 18-inch hand crank. Yeah, once you teach her to start a tractor, you're going to be walking by the shop and boom, it's running. Yeah, you're right. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. So I was thinking about that just yesterday. I wouldn't mind getting her. I thought a Farmall Super A would be kind of cool. We could call it Ray's Super A. Steve, thanks for coming by, man. I hope you enjoy the videos, and you're more than welcome to come back. So we'll probably run another 15 minutes here, and I'm going to take off too. So I'm tired. It's been a long week. I still got to catch up on Squatch's cost analysis video for the 5J1113, the Swamp Angel. I think you're onto something. If you get them kids up on there and let them drive it and steer that big machine, I think you'll really get a lot of people engaged. Yeah, it goes slow, but that is one big machine. And for a kid to be behind the wheel of something like that, it's pretty awesome. So I agree with you. Well, I'll start her on I have a John Deere riding mower, so I'll start her on that when it comes to the little tractor stuff. But Most old families in Duluth have ties to the Great Northern, DMIR, or Sioux. Yeah, it's either the rail or the shipping companies that people have ties to in that area. Whew. Should probably get out of this other site here. I don't know if anybody saw the thumbnail. It probably hasn't been published yet because the video is live. It's not. I don't know. I don't. I guess I don't know what it looks like from your guys' end. Can you see the thumbnail for this? I don't know. But it was a picture of myself and my brother on the Case SC in its former final resting place. So that was where it was parked for many years before I bugged my dad enough to drag it out of the woods. Let's see here. Larry says I could get the 1890 Champion hand feed thresher belted up and they can shove wheat into that. Depends, because most of our help is seeding when we get around to it. That's not a bad idea. You know, if you can get them to get up on the platform and start throwing it in the threshing machine, you know, and letting them drive too. I think that's a really great idea. I've only driven let's see. I drove a 2040 Case, and I'm not sure what size oil pull, but I've driven an oil pull for a short bit. I've driven a Avery steam engine. That's about it for prairie tractors and steam tractors. I've ridden on the 150, but I haven't driven it. What was the first tractor I ever drove? By myself. Probably the Farmall C. I'm not sure. I don't think I ever drove the Case SC by myself. I'm pretty positive. Yeah. Let's see here. Kind of went into a silent mode for a second there. We need to keep the young people into this old stuff to keep it alive. Absolutely. That's why we're all doing it, you know. It's not just for our enjoyment, it's to keep it alive and keep the younger people keeping it going, you know. Let's see. Mine was a 1950 Gibson Model D. Larry, definitely need to visit your museum, especially if I can drive the Waterloo boy. My first tractor was our family Model R Case. Still have it. That's awesome. First prairie tractor I drove was a gas pull.
Highway 2 is very scenic. That it is. When I was 7, Dad let me drive the 6N Ford to help mount the front loader. 6N or 9N? Or 8N or 2N? June 9th, 10th, and 11th, Wilford, North Dakota. The Waterloo boy will be ready for you. Here you go, Hyatt. Oh, an 8N. Okay, I was going to say, I'd never heard of a 6N. Yeah, I'd love to visit the museum that Larry's the caretaker at as well. Waterloo boys are kind of a neat little tractor, that's for sure. Have I ever gone to the Threshermen's reunion in Edgerton, Wisconsin? I have not, but I have heard good things about it and I would like to go. I've also never been to Baraboo and I've heard really good things about that. Oh, it just popped into my head. The show that the 150 is going to be at in Wisconsin is the Dodge County Threshing Show. And I think it's August 4th through 6th or something like that. Dodge County Threshing Show. Yep. Dodge County Antique Power Club 2023, August 4th through the 6th, featuring Corey Anderson's 150 case. I'm not sure if anybody would be interested, but I'm going to put this up in the chat. It's the article that was written in the 80s about the 150 cases. And what I found interesting in that is one of the 150s was actually shipped to Minnesota, which was pretty cool. Nigel Gwillem says, "Good morning from sunny Cyprus." Holy cow, you're all the way around the world. Ever seen any Fordson Majors E27N with Perkins P6? Ivor the Pound in UK have Oliver 1800, 1900, Super WD9, Farmall BMD, Massey Fergus 97, and Fordson E27NP6. Never heard of it. Know what a Fordson is, but not an E27NP6. Just got a couple more minutes here, and then I think Got to go to bed. Oh, excuse me. We've got a Fortson Major with a diesel engine. I honestly have never seen it out of the shed. Don't know much about it. Yeah, neat thing about the internet. You can connect with tractor enthusiasts around the world. No kidding. That's amazing. I can't believe we got somebody from Cyprus that's on here. Most Ford diesels used Lucas engines. It was built after the Fortson N in UK, mostly TVO PET, but some made with P6 Perkins. I've seen Fortson Majors with diesels here in the US, but have not seen an E27N in person, only in books. Hmm. Well, guys, it's 10:28. I think I'm going to start saying my goodbyes here. It's 6:30 a.m. where Nigel's at, and it's 10:30 p.m. where we are, or where I am. I can't remember the whole story of Fortson. I don't believe it was like a direct descendant of Ford, but I know there's some type of relationship there. I'm not exactly sure, but let's see here. All right, well, I'm going to start saying my goodbyes, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It wasn't a 2 hour live stream, but 90 minutes is pretty darn good. So, hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you're all doing well in this new year. And stay healthy, keep wrenching, and I'll do my best to try to get a video out here. I know I got some stuff on Highest Tractor to get on video and um, start getting it together because it's almost ready to run. So hopefully that will be soon. So everybody take care and keep on wrenching. Keep them things from going to the scrap pile. So, but I'm tired. I'm sure you guys can tell. So, you guys take care. Matt, Hyatt, Nigel, Tom, Hans, Broken Wrench. It's always good to see you guys. So, and if I'm missing anybody, Lee, yeah, Tom A, yeah. I'm just scrolling through the chat. Larry, always good to hear from you. So, you guys all take care and I'm going to hit the old end button right now. We'll see you later.